Hello, everyone. Thank you for listening to this guided meditation from the Mindful Steward. This is going to be a guided meditation for beginners. So if you are new to meditation or you want to learn the basics a little bit better, this is going to serve as a quick lesson to walk you through one of your first meditations. I will explain the basics of how it's done and help you ditch some of the misconceptions that may be limiting your meditation practice thus far. So without further ado, let's get started. Throughout this practice, I'm going to be explaining some of the basics. It will be more of a learning meditation than anything else. So when meditating, make sure you find a comfortable position. I do recommend a comfortable seated position because it allows you to stay alert. Unless you are meditating before bed or for sleep, the goal is not to be so relaxed that we lose our focus. We want to remain alert and at ease. A seated position often facilitates this best. Comfort is king in this situation, especially when we are first starting our practice, as discomfort can become a distraction. Later on, you may find it as a useful tool, something you can pay attention to. So whenever you are ready, you don't have to close your eyes right away if they're not able to do so. If they are not, if you do find yourself maybe a little bit too wired, you can simply relax your gaze, allow the possibility of your eyes closing later on. And if they are shut, that is great. And we will start, regardless, with a few deep breaths. This meditation is going to begin with a bit of a grounding practice. So we want these breaths to be calming, but to completely fill our lungs and have a nice, conscious, calm, and slow exhale. The longer exhale allows the body, the physiology of our body, to calm down. It's something that tells our body that we are safe and secure. It's why deep breaths are often utilized as a tool for relaxation when done correctly. Generally, 3 to 5 of these deep breaths can help calm you enough to reduce your blood pressure and drop us into the meditation. Here, let's begin by focusing on the sensations of the breath. Perhaps noticing the chest rising and falling, getting really particular about those sensations. Dive into those. Use those as a point of focus for a couple moments. Maybe noticing any muscle tightness in this area. Maybe noticing any discomfort or strangitudes that are part of the breath. Maybe noticing the way your clothing feels against your skin as the chest rises and falls. Just diving into these sensations, using them as a tool to root ourselves in the present moment. And extending that focus on the sensations throughout other parts of the body. perhaps paying attention for a short moment to the holistic body, all parts of it, noticing any of the dominant sensations first, and then consciously trying to feel the sensations elsewhere. Perhaps noticing some tingling in the toes or the feet. Perhaps feeling any sensations in the back or the shoulders. Utilizing the feeling of your seat against your body is often a good resource. All the while allowing the breath to flow naturally, without forcing it, and focusing on the sensations at hand. In this case, the sensations are what we would call the anchor. It is the point of focus that whenever we lose our attention, we can come back to. A normal part of meditation is being distracted by thoughts. This is completely okay and completely normal. The goal is not to be thoughtless, but it is that when a thought distracts us, to acknowledge it lightly, to recognize that we were taken away by a thought, and to refocus on the anchor. This is actually one of the biggest parts of the practice, is just catching yourself in thought. In a sense, those moments of awareness are how we become more aware of our thoughts in our everyday life. With each catch of our loss of attention, we bring ourselves back to the moment, back to the anchor, and it forms a habit of presence. It is like a mental bicep curl for the mind. Meditation is about putting in the reps that foster that state of greater presence and awareness. So for many meditations, the breath is the singular anchor. The sensations of the breath keep us in the present. It allows us to detach from the mental chatter and simply experience the body, to get out of our heads and into the physical experience of the moment, and to practice doing so. There are a wide array of meditation techniques. Sometimes the teacher would be guiding you through a body scan, which is another great technique for beginners, guiding you verbally through the sensations that are shifting from one part of the body to the other. And every time you get lost, you simply bring yourself back to the part of the body that the teacher is on next. If you find yourself holding tension in any parts of your body, simply pay attention to that location and focus on releasing the tension. Releasing the tension on the exhale can be a useful tool. So for a couple moments, I am going to be quiet and allow you to practice what we have just discussed. And to close off this practice, let's take a few deep breaths, filling the lungs completely. With a long, relaxing exhale where we are able to release any tension we may still be holding. And before fully closing, let's quickly, mentally give ourselves a little pat on the back. I just want to acknowledge you because it does take something to be willing to set time aside for self-care and for self-love and for mental health maintenance. And to re-enter the room, let's simply focus on the sounds around us again. Perhaps wiggling the toes, the feet, the fingers, and the arms, or stretching out the body however you need. And whenever you are ready, just open your eyes. So while this was a relatively simple introduction to meditation, I made sure to go over some of the key things to keep in mind when listening to guided meditations elsewhere. I think that some of these points will help you get a greater value from guided meditations, to understand that it is okay to be thinking thoughts. Meditation is not about being thoughtless. It's simply about changing the relationship that we have with our thoughts. There's a wide array of different techniques. I would encourage you to do a little bit of research online. I know our website has a lot of content as well. And learn a little bit more about the techniques that are, on a personal level, beneficial and enjoyable for you. That's a great starting place to adopt a practice that can be so beneficial to the mind, body, and spirit. Thanks so much for your time and have a wonderful day.